Hello gang, I'm Colonel Failure and you're back with Transport Fever in the style of a Metropolis. The game's paused at the moment for reasons that will become apparent pretty soon. But last time around we built this rather intimidating looking 9-track junction. The corner here is a little bit slow. If we bring up the speedometer here, pretty slow this corner, but at the moment it doesn't actually get used that much. If we bring up the old usage graph here, and both the trains that do use it have decided to go up the same track, which is brilliant. We've got some track laying to do, and we've got some routing to reorganise, but I have paused now in a strategic position, because despite the number of trains that I'm operating through here, there's nothing nearby. This bit's all clear. I've got to rework this bit, and even more impressively, this bit's relatively clear as well. I know, no one's more surprised than me. But that should lead to a situation where we can sort this out relatively quickly. That's the hope. Anyway, stick around and we'll see if relatively quickly is indeed a thing. Now then, as part of this reorganisation, I'll probably make some fairly reasonable changes to the routes that I've got going on as well. If nothing else, to take advantage of this mammoth level of track that we've got happening here. But as is traditional, to get underway, let's nuke a lot of the old stuff. You only just did that last time. Don't bulldoze any more of that. Now, as you can probably see from the calendar, I have rolled it forward a little bit, just to clear the tracks. I ended up rolling it by a few months to see if it was going to hold firm come the revolution, and I got no complaints from any trains at all. Again, I am as surprised as you are. But no, it has come up reasonably well as far as trains being able to find where they need to go. The only real downside is that you do end up with a lot of queuing on the current system, but that's what we're here to fix. Right. So looking at the lines we've got coming in, this one is pure goods and depot. So one of the problems that we've had in the past is this has blocked up some of the kind of the A routes, and I think I don't know, do I want to run it as an under or an over or a what? Or do we just block everything? I mean, we're trying to avoid blocking everything, if I'm honest. But I don't know. We'll play it by ear. But we're going to need 5 tracks going down here, maybe 6, but yeah, 4 would be sufficient. I mean, that would certainly up the tempo enough for me to accomplish everything I needed to. The reason we were running 5 before is because there is a one-way goods train, goods service that runs up there, and by setting it up on its own route, we managed to avoid quite a lot of trauma. I don't know if that was a wise piece of deletion or not, because it feels like it narrows too much there. And that would be because it narrows too much there. Right, okay, more deletion is required, and then we'll just have to figure it out afterwards. This is probably going to require some kind of extended remix diamond on here, but I think we'll be able to sort that out. Right, so we had 3 tracks originally. We're now up to 4. This one here is the passing track for the goods service. I think. Yes, it is. There you go. So it's passing through the traffic lane at Barcelona. So I don't need to merge that onto anything. Don't need to merge it? No, nothing. That needs no merging whatsoever. So I'll take it as far as there. And then we know that's the goods track. Sorted. Yeah. Right, and then all we've got to do is, so the choices are going to be, we come over this way and cross over everything and loop onto the goods track, and given the length of those trains, and the fact there's 2 of them, potentially more in the future as well, I think we'll endeavour to have a little bit of underneath action here. Right, so your single track there, which I'm not entirely convinced you need to be. Sorry, this double track may be superfluous. But I'll tell you what we will do is, since we're... No, that's just not the button you want. This one here, that's the button. Right, I think we might upgrade this while we're in the area. Just to, you know, maintain some level of consistency. Not that I've ever been that much of a stickler for consistency, but, you know, once in a while, consistency, you kind of go, oh, yeah. Oh, I can see myself being consistent. What are we colliding with there? I missed a bit. Okay, right, fine. So if we go under... We're going to want to start this manoeuvre relatively early on. If I can do this gently... See, look, if I can do it gently, the service will be grateful to me. And if I can do it in a way that that maintains a certain amount of speed, that too would be good. Right, there's the underground section kicked off. And obviously if I don't go underground too far... Obviously it's going to keep going down now. There we are. Right, now, the trick is going to be... get around there like that. No? Okay. Okay, a little bit more manual tinkering is required. And given it's a good service, it's never going to hit 200 kilometers an hour anyway, but, you know, it's worth keeping your speed up to the happiest level you can manage. 143, however, is a little on the low side. So if we take that up to there and then see if we can't make a nice smooth re-emergence of the big beast. What do we got? Perfect. Look at that. See? Not even a terrain alignment collision to be seen for miles. I'll take it. That's fabulous. Bang some trees in there. It's going to look lovely. Good. Right. Okay. So that's definitely simplified things as far as kind of crossing traffic is concerned. Let's God, look at all this smoothing I've got to do. It's like I came through here with a road shape. That is a road. Oh, okay. With a road-shaped wrecking ball. This one is obviously disconnected and shouldn't be. I'm surprised I haven't got a town somewhere complaining that its route is no longer present. Anyway, I've left myself this to do in an entertaining area. Let's continue that. And we'll continue that as far as there. 247,194. We can do that a little bit neater, I suspect. Let's do it up another bit, and then see if we can't maintain some velocity. There we go. Right. What have we got there? That's fine. Yeah, 253. Marvelous. Thank you very much. And then onwards, connect up to there, no problem at all. Good, so that's the route down to Shanghai, and we really only need 2 tracks doing that because I'm not running a massive number of services down there. You don't want to snap. Why don't you want to snap? It's probably the tunnel's interference, but you can't be too sure. Right, okay, there's that. And then we can just take the other ones out the other way. This seems too easy. I'm going to need some kind of crossover going on in there anyway to make sure that continues operating. But this is now feeling rather too easy, and it feels like I might have missed something. Also, I think what it might be is that maybe having 4 tracks here would actually be beneficial, given that a high percentage of services are likely to run through Krakow, which should be pronounced Krakow. I am reliably informed, but I'm never going to remember to do that. So there you go. That's your one-time best stab at pronouncing that correctly. Right. Can we get this up to a... Okay, well, actually a lot. What do we got? 160 as 164. Okay, that'll do. Good. Obviously, we don't need to cross it over to the first track because that's goods only. And then we'll do this as well. Go on. There you go. Don't fight me. Just do it. That one's even better. 121. That's not quite so good. And then we'll need to diamond action some of these, I suspect. Double slip doubles, which slows things down. I'll have a look, and I'll take these back out if this isn't conducive. I just double slip everything for for the wheeze these days. Right, let's have a 50. Yeah, no. Okay, 101, 102. That's not great. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not good. I mean, I could probably get more speed by doing if I were to do crossover, crossover, crossover. So both sides and then the middle. But I'd rather get it done because that way we still get to hold everything. There's 3 more tracks here, dude. You've failed to make the reconnection before you started getting all clever and putting crossovers in. Oh, well, I can get those in on time, can't I? Can't I? Where do they need to get to? Well, they're all going to need to get over onto this lane here. At the most, they're going to need to go onto there, which means that this crossover is actually in a bad place. Okay, all right. Well, you know, you can't make a junction without bulldozing a bit of track, and therefore we'll bulldoze a bit of track. And it also means that this split may now be a little bit premature. Almost deleted there. I'll tell you, when they do, it's gonna completely when they release the sequel to this game, they'll add an undo button. I can feel it in my water, and when they do, it's going to completely change the character of things. Is that how we want to do it, or do we want to run all 3 sets with slip junctions so they can get anywhere? That feels rubbish. It's probably because it is. Okay, alright, okay. So, what are you going to do? How are you going to do this? Well, we could take the bulldozer off. We could merge these in over here. As this is still feeling like it's pretty bad. I mean, especially since this track currently isn't used, you don't know where it needs to get to. But you're going to have to assume that it's going to want to. You're going to want Shanghai as a possible connection here. Okay. Well, hold on. Let's have a look at current usage. Right. What do we got? It's running 2-way on that for some reason. Pink's doing absolutely fine. That's the good service. This one is the less said about it, the better. We can make that work. Don't worry. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. We can make it work. It'll be absolutely dandy. Probably. And it shouldn't be using the same side of the track to go both ways anyway. It should have that figured out already. How else might one do it? So there you go. You've got the Magnificent 9 running up there. Now we know that some aren't used, and that these are broken at the moment because obviously there's connectivity missing right now. So if you thought it was highly entertaining watching me figure it out last time, well, good news, you're going to get to see it again. What if we whiz this over to there? Okay, all right. Show you thinking, show you working, show you making a connection. That's not going to work. All right, try it this way. Right, okay. You've got that. Speed is all looking pretty good. You're crossing over everything, which is, it's undesirable. Still 3 broken. Okay, good times. Now, obviously, we can merge these on here, which is not going to... This is no, you're not improving matters. What you need to do here is think, then execute, rather than just kind of go, it'll be fine. Okay, right, so maybe get rid of this. If at first you don't like it, have another go. It's only track laying, it's cheap. Right. So, coming out, if we say this one's... I'm going to bang some signals in here just to kind of outline my thoughts, such as they are. Where do we want to outline our thoughts, such as they are? All right. After the split, you can safely assume that that everything has been organised correctly. Yes, you can. Right. So we've got an up and down, an up and a down. We've used this method before. Right. Okay. Now what? Now what? No, I'm genuinely flummoxed. Where would you take those two that we don't currently use, but may come in useful? Because you do want them to be useful. The super diamond, you know, that, I mean, it gets trains where they need to be, but it's not. It will cause quite a bit of a slowdown in a process. And equally, all of this magnificent queuing paraphernalia you've got going on here, which will work out like a charm, is only going to work like a charm if everything coming from here can get onto the correct of the 4 tracks that it wishes to get onto. Oh, I know. These are the considerations one must make. All right, stick around. I'll fix this and then come back because it's going to take some pondering. And I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, well, we've got it working. Working is a strong word, but it is now working. It is now operational. I have now kind of figured it out. I mean, look at this. It all goes just a little bit mad over here. You've still got some broken lines going on. That's fine. I'll fix those. But yeah, all the excitement. Yeah, all the fun of the fair going on up here. If I kill this off, you can actually see what I've done. What I decided was that if I was going to have to swerve junctions all over the place, better to do it in one section so that you can then signal either side of it and let people just kind of crack on and get on with it until they've passed through. This is a bottleneck, though, which is what I'd hoped to avoid. But I'm only going to see how much of a bottleneck it is after I've actually got it working. Or, you know, after I've put it live, pushed the button, made the mysterious into reality. So if we stick one of those here, right, and then one of the, oh no, hold on, that's a little bit close for the other side's liking. Did I not even manage to make that? Oh, you did make it symmetrical. Okay, all right, fine. You know, you're all good. Carry on. Yeah, so if we put a couple of signals in like this, and then I'm just going to leave it alone and turn it on. Now, this is very premature because, well, it's very premature because quite a lot of it's actually broken. It's too premature. Stop trying to be too premature. Let's call up the old Linetron here. Now, the first one is the train that everybody gets overexcited about, which is the Barcelona Transatlantic. Let's leave that up in isolation and then have a look at what it's actually doing. Right, okay, so out we come from Sioux Falls. Here we go. We trundle up the track, not at very high speed, I wouldn't imagine. Get onto the main line there, and we're away. Up we go, and then through Krakow. No, through Indianapolis. Forget all about Indianapolis. Through Indianapolis, doing the crossing there, and then on to the excitement line here. My goodness me, that is an excitement line. That's a lot of overzealous line crossing we've got going on there. Right, that needs to be tweaked, if not completely changed. Anyway, what it doesn't do is it doesn't go through Krakow, or it shouldn't go through Krakow. It should instead just head straight out to Barcelona. So it really doesn't need the inside track here, which is where the queues are going to emerge. Instead, it would be better on the outside line. Right? Can it do that? Well, we'll find out. So after Indianapolis, where's my next signal here? Have I got any? Not as many as you'd like. Hold on. And which is up and down here? Yeah, because I think I built this fifth line in reasonably recent. I built this fifth line in recently, which is clever, I suppose, but inevitably unhelpful. So let's do a bit of this, right, and then we'll stick some of that the other side as well. Have you got that right? No, you've got that wrong. Put one there. That's it. Yeah, like this. There we go. And then you've got some actual queuing happening there, which is fine as long as your trains don't get too long. And then we'll send from Indianapolis. We'll send you via this signal here. Right, and then you're using. Oh, look at this! You got the middle lane all to yourself, which will take you out to Barcelona. Does it do so in a glamorous fashion? That's the question. No, it really doesn't. This wants to be a backing service. If you're going to come from here, then back to Indianapolis, then you'd want to be in on platform 8. So will you do that, or will you make a fuss? No, you'll do it. Okay. All right. Now it's changed. It's changed the line that it wants to use there. But what sort of fuss is it making in the process? Okay. Don't know what's happening here, but that's okay too. I think we'll work that out. Right, okay, so it comes into Barcelona, and then we hit platform 8, so it comes back out on this line, which is a reverser, which is absolutely fine. But then, really, you ought to be heading up there. Now, maybe it can't. Maybe that's the reason that it's... yeah. Okay, so if we do that, then everything, I think, will just resolve itself, unless it chooses a weird track coming out this way. There's still something weird going on here. So you then go to Barcelona, then you go to Indianapolis. Yes. Right. So we're currently heading back to Indianapolis, I suppose this way. What's this extra yellow track all about? Don't know. It's trying to do something very unconventional. And then it comes back out this way, which is fine. What's it doing over there? Okay, all right. Maybe I've hosed it by making it go via the signal. Let's get rid of the signal, and then see what it does. There you go. It's now figured it out. There we go. That's fixed. Nice reversing service. Bypasses the Krakow junction. No, hold on. Hold everything. No, wait. I see it. It's okay. It's using the Weirdo Track 5 that was recently introduced. And that's... no, it is allowed. It's not doing anything illegal there. And it will have that track to itself, because I'm not using it for anything else. But it does mean that I need to make that track one way. And then, of course, it does that. Because of course it does. Right, you need to be double slipped, which you are. This is most baffling. It's not most baffling at all, actually. It's entirely normal. This is, teething trouble. That's all it is. So if I were to stick a signal here, how much likelihood is there I block some points? Some, So it's not none, but there is some possibility of points blockage going on there. So if we put that in as the waypoint, oh, then it's chosen an entirely different route. How exciting! Okay, all right, fine. Now I'm pretty certain this is the only one that's going to cause me any kind of wailing and gnashing of teeth. And then into platform 1, which you're not doing now. No, platform 8. 8. Seriously, stop overriding my platform regulations. Because when you do as you're told, you get it mostly right, and then no, we're off to the fairies again. I don't know where we're going here. What's just double slip that? That's also wrong. Double slip this too. Yep, still wrong. Keep slipping until we slide. Is my recommendation. Yeah, do that one and this one. Okay, well, progress. But I want you to come down here. Now, why don't you want to do that? So number 3, I'm guessing it's going to be because it can't get over onto platform 8. Right, you've got this really great splitting up of junctions here, which I would be amazed if you couldn't take 3. Yeah, you'll take 3, no problem at all. Okay, right, there's 3. Still on 3. Okay, right. So if you're on 3, which is this one, you then rock it over here. So if we need 2, get in a bit closer. You can't change that one. Oh, okay then. All right. Well, I might be prepared to make a special case then. So all we need to do is just make sure that it's using the correct association out here. So you've got some weird crossover action going on. How weird. Pretty weird. But actually that is within tolerances. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Just don't do anything else weird and we'll settle with that. Takes quite an aggressive turn there. And then everything's dandy. Okay, all right. One slightly weird crossing on the entire route I can live with. But it is making the best use of the track available, and it's also bypassing Krakow, which means that it's likely to, well, it's less likely to cause any drama there. Now then, let's go and find our next candidate. I'm going to colour you in, I don't know, this really vibrant green, to let us know that we've resolved that, theoretically. Okay then, gang. Speak to me. Now, let's sort out Hot Pink, because Hot Pink was already working. That's the International Consumer Goods Bulk. We shall turn that black. Yeah, good. You're sorted. Right, Wolverhampton, Shanghai. We need this one, that one. We also need... This all looks very familiar, doesn't it? That one and this one. And is that the lot? That's the lot. Right, kill off that. And then we're just looking at the ones that we're just looking at. And from the looks of it, that looks clean as a whistle, but that's by the time that they're already on approach. So this is the stuff that I've kind of booked in already. Hello, Mr. Tree. Aren't you jolly? Click carefully. You have to tell yourself sometimes, otherwise disasters happen. Right, now then. Now we get into the everybody suddenly decides to go everywhere dance remix. And have we got unique colours on all these? No, we've got 2 lots of yellow. All right, you can be, I don't know, purple. Okay, right. This one's fine. Or is it? No, it's too close to this one. Let's turn you this kind of turquoise deal. Right, that's a nice mix of colours going on there. Who wants to go where? Okay, pink. Spinwood is doing the opposite to Widdershins, so these two are kind of a partnership. We just want to make sure they're not doing anything too wacky on the main approach here. And there will be a fair amount of whizzing windows about until we know where we're going. Let's turn Wolverhampton Shanghai off. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So what we've got here is down, up, down, presumably up, down, up. And then when you get over here, it kind of goes, and then everybody goes somewhere. Okay, now then, if we one-way these, we'll soon find out if that breaks anything. It has not broken anything. Hey, there's a progress of a sort. It's just nobody's happy with where they start out. They all want to go somewhere flipping wacky, which is less desirable. Where's red? Here you go. Brussels, Shanghai. You need to get to Brussels, which is out that way. Okay, so you do need to get in on that side. Although why you've decided that going two ways on this bit of track, seriously, it's not the smartest move. You are double slipped. But then you need to do this. I think I need to rework this junction. I had a feeling I was going to need to rework this junction just by the fact that I didn't really understand what it was doing. Can I bring myself... All right, stick with it. I'm going to have another go. Well, okay then. Interesting. I haven't fixed it because, as I'm sure you're already aware, some of these lines that I've been running are just a little on the wacky side. Not to mention the fact they're also quite old. And therefore, there's some legacy stuff going on there. In the comments last time around, someone said that it was high time that we updated some of these trains. I quite agree. I think it's also high time we updated some of these routes. Yeah, I know. If the track won't comply, build better routes and then make the track comply with those routes. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it rolling. Nothing is stuck, allegedly. And we'll see what we get coming out of here, because everything is completely, it's all over the show now. But it should, in theory, it should work. Right, hello there. You are the Europe Spinwood. Well, here's an interesting notion for you. I'm going to retire you. Not the train, we'll keep the train, but I'm sending you back to the depot to be sent out on something else shortly. European Spinwood, which I could have done by just clicking over there, I suppose. Everything here, go to the depot. You have to do that from the route master, don't you? Do you never do that from here? Have I never done that from here? Well, whether I have or not is largely an irrelevance. All of you lot, go find a depot. All right, have fun. While we're at it, the Euroloop Widdershins, you also are a name for my pain. You can't find an electric depot. Well, that's going to cause a dilemma, isn't it? Okay, well, in which case, what are we running? We're running a really old school, we're using the GG1 on there. So, given that I think that would probably behoove me to upgrade that anyway. There you go. Look, your history. I know. No, I'm taking no prisoners. If you thought a radical junction wasn't entertaining enough, no, now we're going to go for a radical overhaul of the entire situation. And not before time, neither. Now then, we'll stick a diesel on there. Does it matter what? Yes, it does make it cheap, but still practical. So we'll make that with the same consist as the other one. So a 4 and 2. Replace now. It's only going to cost me 1.3 million. Bargain. We'll up the tempo. Keep an eye on that route until it's done. You're done. That's fine. Watch this. Close these. Good. Right. I'm on it. This is it. This is happening. Eastern Hemisphere main line. Where exactly do you stop? I'd love to close down this route map so we can actually see some stuff running here, you know. Shanghai, Wellington, Wolverhampton, Wellington. You're safe. Congratulations. Turn off the visible only. Detroit Wolves. They're both fine. The El Paso Eastern Counter Loop. I've not looked at you for a while. So I'll tell you what, all of you lot, depot. Yeah, you lot as well, especially since you're not making a profit. Go to the depot, and then we'll have a chat in a minute. Right, ignore. Just go trains. You'll make your life easier. Right, Barcelona Transatlantic. Okay, we've been fighting that for a little while. Depot. Which depot are they going to on ones? Freight interchange depot Alpha. Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Keep it interesting. Yeah. By all means, head to the freight depot. That's not complicated at all. Right, Brussels Dortmund. Brussels Vancouver. You're making money. You can live. You can live as well. The European Central Balloon, no chance. Depot. Right, European Central Balloon. Yeah, I know. Guess what? Depot. Detroit to Krakow is making money despite the fact it's positively ancient. Depot. Right, Detroit to Wolverhampton is making money. You can live. Congratulations. Detroit Wolves High Altitudes. Fine. Eastern Hemisphere. Yep, we looked at that. Europe Widdershins. Still waiting for the trains to switch over, and then we'll depot them afterwards. The Europe commuter I am fine with, and it's making handsome levels of money. Well done. You know what? Our profits might actually soar after doing this. Just purely because we're not carrying quite so many unprofitable routes. We'll still be carrying a few. International consumer goods bulk, we need that. We need it running better. I might need to have a look at that. We're currently running two Class 9000s on there, but I think what we might do is swap them out for some nice diesels and maybe run 3 or 4 of them instead, so we get a slightly swifter transition. But we'll worry about that in a minute. The Krakow Transcontinental lost 6 million last depot. Orient Express. Just barely clinging to profit. You may live. Sioux Falls to Brussels. Depot. What? What do you mean you can't find a route? Work harder. I'll come back to you then. What else? Sioux Falls commuter. Considering how many locomotives we've got on there, that's barely scraping a profit. Sioux Falls mainline's working fine. Shanghai freight. Good bulk, your Mountain Delight, you're good. Tools processing is fine. Vancouver, Wellington. Depot. Wolverhampton to Shanghai. Oh my goodness me. Go to the depot twice. There we go. Right. Good. Exciting. Now then, for my next trick, I'm going to delete all these routes. Yeah. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing this. No, I'm shaking it up. We're letting the people know that that nothing is sacred or indeed warranted. Because it was fun enough to put it together in the first place. I'm sure it will be just as much fun to put it together a second time when you're not entirely sure what you're doing. The challenge really is just going to be making sure that every station has sufficient services going into it. Do let me know in the comments when I've deleted one that I really shouldn't. That's kind of useful. There's also going to be an argument for electrifying more of the track, but we'll worry about that presently. Now, if I were to sell off all this rolling stock, I wouldn't be able to deploy quite so many trains afterwards, because obviously it's going to cost me more in doing so. But there's a reason I didn't tell them all to go to the depot and get sold. There we go. Sioux Falls train depot's now got 2 in it. Well done. Congratulations. How many have we managed to lock into the freight? Just 1 so far. Now, every time we land one of these... You're the Euroloop Widdershins. Are you supposed to be getting replaced? I think you're getting... No, you're not, because you're a steam. How are you still alive, Euroloop Widdershins? Oh, I am replacing you. Oh, it is electric. I don't know anything. Right, get replaced. Come on. In your own time. Replaced. Get replaced. Get replaced. Get replaced. This is why we like doing this at slightly higher speed. And then... Depot. Right, good. And then... Delete the line. Yeah, brutal. Love it. This is how you reorganise. You take no prisoners, and you just do it all in one painful, rip the band-aid off kind of a fashion. Right. Anybody else left standing? I'm sure those who are trying to commute to work are just kind of going, what happened? What do you mean there are now no trains? That's a problem for me. And my employer. You go, oh, sorry, progress. Depot. There you go. See, worked it out that time. Deleted. Okay, good. Right. Oh, lovely. Oh, I'm excited. Perhaps needlessly so. All right, grand. And then what we'll need to do after that is somehow, and what would have been useful beforehand, is work out who's actually not servicing any station, which stations are not being looked after in the slightest, and then try and put it all back together again in a way that is joyous and compelling. And I perish to think what the queues are looking like at the moment. Where are you chaps going, other than the wrong way? It's going to be a steam versus diesel drag race here. We've got the Australians versus the British. Both held at a signal. Not entirely sure where they're going, but I suspect it's going to involve a junction somewhere. Nice shot though, eh? Yeah, okay, so the message of this particular story, friends, is that if you're trying to get your routes working and you're having trouble with a junction to make that happen, and you still can't get it to happen, then have you considered that it might be the route that's the problem rather than the junction? There we go. Right now, where is everybody? Hello, everybody. Look at these lot, all merrily waiting to go to the junction, I'll bet. Yeah, they're all going to the depot. They're going, I don't know what's happening. The Fat Controller's called for a meeting. And where's the queue? I think we may have stumbled across it. Here we go. Well, this is arguably the most eclectic mix of trains you're going to see in a while. We've got a meeting of nations and eras and all sorts, and providing everybody is obeying the signals and on the correct side of the track, we might not have a problem. I have to say might not, because it's just as likely that we really do have a problem. But so far, nobody seems to be permanently stopped. So far. Thank you, autosave. You're the real champ. Good. Yes. I want to go swing by that depot and have a look and see what sort of congestion we're looking at there, because they're going to the freight depot as well. And I hate to break it to them, but anybody going to the freight depot is likely to find themselves sold. Going from the regular depot, I've got no problem with. But here we are over at Freight Depot Central. There's no one in there yet. Or that one. Ah, hello. What do we got? Shall I just sell these? Don't answer that. I have done. There we are. They're sold now. I didn't appear to make much money out of that. Where are we? Sold vehicles. Vehicles sold. Vehicles. Railroad. 14.9 million apparently. Must have come just after the end of the month. I hope it just came after the end of the month. You know what? I should have just sold them all, shouldn't I? Yeah. Just sell up. Right? We're closing down sale. This is it. This is the end of the road for all of you. And I love how, despite having 3 depots to choose from, you've all just gone piling into the nearest one, you lazy gits. Right, let's go back over here and see who's on their way in. And I'll tell you what, if we stick a signal on there, we've got a signal on there. Come on, we should be queuing. We should have a queue of vehicles hoping to retire. Meanwhile, since you're passing, all right, don't mind me, just doing my job. I don't need retiring, no siree. No, I feel quite happy about you, but you are a little bit old. And while I've still got some money, we'll get you replaced. What do you think? We could put a double-headed Class 11. What does that do? 32 kilometres an hour. I'm afraid that's too slow. The Alco does 80. I am a big fan of the alternate livery. We'll use the New Haven. Or do we go with this French number? Or this French number? Ooh. Spicy. I don't know. Or do we got any number of British? Or do we go with this German number? Have I used the German? I think I used the French one in the last series. These engines will be delivered between summer of '64 and spring '65. Okay, well you're relatively modern. We'll go with one of those, and we'll stick you. I'm afraid it's going to be the NAFIs on there. Next series, I promise, no NAFIs whatsoever. NAFI-free zone is what we're going to be. You don't need the 160 click NAFI though. You can go for a slightly lower one than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 should do the trick. Replace now. 7 million. Flaming heck. Alright, that was a smidge more pricey than I'd hoped, but so be it. Alright, where's everybody else? Hello, what's going on up here? Now, I appreciate that some of you are having to wait for really slow goods services to go back. Where are you even going? This is Shanghai Freight Bulk, apparently. And it's no wonder this line doesn't make any money. It takes forever to get there. Oh, hold on, it does make money. Alright, carry on, as you were. But we've got this... okay, you're waiting for some action down there. And we've got to wait for this lot to clear. And then there's quite... Actually, this is where the queuing is going on, look. Right. Not sure why this one's queuing, though. Where are you hoping to... You're just trying to get to a depot. Alright, well, if I stick another signal on here somewhere, will that aid your pain? Oh, you're using the cheeky 5th track. Oh, okay, fine. Well, you know, you're on your own recognizance there. Now, once that one's gone, maybe we can hustle. You feel like hustling? Do you? Okay, right, look, I'm going to wrap it up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it forward until everything's parked. And then, once it is, next time around, it's going to be, let's go shopping. And hopefully, not let's go shopping to the tune of pork barreling or taking out an enormous loan. I think a loan is possibly more likely. But it's going to take a little while to clear all of this through. As I'm sure you can gather. If we have a look at the backlog here, we got one in that depot. And we're waiting for about... I don't know, 75, 76 trains to come in. I exaggerate because it's funny. Yes, good. Okay, well, this one took a slightly unusual turn, but I've been Colonel Failure nonetheless. Nonetheless is now my new last name. And I hope to see you. I'll probably buy another one of these, you know. I've got nothing better to replace it with, but I'm going to sell up, and then we'll have a rethink. Yeah, so tune in next time and find out what level of lunacy can happen, because evidently I've been struck by some kind of illness today. Fling a like at this one if you enjoyed it, although I don't know why you would, and subscribe to make sure you don't find out how I put this house together again in the future, and so forth. I've been Colonel Failure. I'll talk to you soon, evidently. Cheerio!